Okay, the underside of this wire is sort of a black looking, black and copper, whereas this side is the top, that part that will go up is more copper and silver. It's going to go, and we will just, it will slip down in that slot. It's just that the problem is getting it squared off, so we're pushing it in, not pushing it in at an angle. So this is the challenge part, it looks like. This doesn't want to go. We finally got it in. Just had to be patient. And you'll see that, move it around here so we can see it. Now when it finally went in, the silver tip that was the end is completely submerged, and it went in easily enough once we got it squared away. And now we'll get the companion wire with the blue on the side toward the fan and toward the bulb. Just a matter of getting that in there and press down. There. Okay, the color wheel is in. It's replaced. Now it's just a matter of we'll put the fan casing back on. It's it wasn't essential for it to come off, but it gave us a little bit more room, and only had 3 screws holding it in, so no big deal to take it off and put it back. So I'll get my piece of tape that says 3 fan screws, pull those out. They're kind of a brass copper looking. One's going to go here, second one here, and the third one goes over here. Pretty simple. Okay, got the fan bolted back down again. Now when we took this thing apart, these wires that go from the color wheel had a piece of tape holding them next to this housing. So I'm going to put it back in place. Presume there'll be enough sticky left just to kind of keep them from going anywhere. Well, the original tape had lost its sticky, so I used this white piece of vinyl electrical lock tape. My main goal is to make sure that these are not protruding up and maybe getting in the way of a later installation, because when I took it apart, these were down low, very low clearance for the top, and that was my main objective, so they wouldn't be poking up way up in here somewhere. So I think we're about ready to go to the next step. Well, before we go to the next step, let's just examine. You notice that the 2 wires that come out of the color wheel, there's a slot for this blue and white wire, so it's not crimped anywhere. And this one, the copper wire, is just kind of poking out. There's a from the side and coming up beside this this rubber connector right here. And that's the way it was designed before, so I guess that's going to be fine now. And they go from here up to the where they connect up here. Okay, well, we're ready to slide this thing back into its case.
Okay.
Get these wires out of the way on both sides.
Okay.
And get this one up and out of the way. It feels like it's on some tracks, so
It's always good.
it does feel this is kind of catching up here. So I need to get this up and out of the way so we can get behind it. My concern is, am I forcing anything? Feels like I am. I don't know. There. Well, if you recall, you know, I broke off inadvertently, broke off some tabs that were coming here when we took it out. But I don't know that that makes any difference because there's no wiggle room here for this thing. I just pushed it back as far as it would go. You can see it's kind of lined up with this. So let's see now if it makes sense what we need to. We need to hook up this, and hook up this, and I think we'll be through, and then attach this grounding strip. Okay, maybe I should have connected this before I pulled this all the way in. I'll just pull it out a little bit. The black wire, if I recall, is going to go toward the outside because this clip goes closest to us. So it's just a matter of getting that in its seat and snapping it down. There, that's in. And do the same for this one. We can push this in a little bit now. Snap that one down. And the DVI connector. Push the tray back in. And we'll put the DVI connector in its place. Okay, that's fit in there. Press it in. Then we'll just use we can turn these by hand, get them snug, and then we'll use a screwdriver to take them in the rest of the way. I think the next thing I want to do is put this grounding strap back in place. Uses one of the standard Phillips head screws. And as soon as we get this grounding strap in, we'll fasten this wire, the brown and blue, put it under the clip. Okay, where does it go? I don't see his home. Pull this up out of the way. Uh-oh. Pull that loose. It was clipped down in here somewhere. Let's see if I can get it back. Probably didn't make any difference if I do or not. And now I'm going to go ahead and screw this down. Should have done this first before I tried to connect up. Because this will make sure I got it lined up right. It doesn't feel like it's lined up right, but if I'd have screwed it down first and screwed down my like it doesn't want to go in. Well, I'll show you what I broke loose. There's a bracket inside the case. This little bracket is what came loose. It's supposed to be fastened to the base here somewhere. And it's not going to go anywhere, but I'll see if I can get it hooked back. If I can't, the reason it broke loose is because I was stretching this wire, trying to get it over here to its home base. And I just had to pull a little bit too much. Well, I can't get this latch down. I probably could if I worked with it, but I don't think it's that important, so I'm just going to leave it loose. It's not going to hurt anything to stay loose. I believe everything's back in place. We've got this screw and this screw are holding down the tray. We've got our other wires back in place. I discovered this little switch right here may be just a floppy switch that toggle it's spring loaded. That may be the switch that's supposed to be keeping the TV from coming on when the back is off. I'm not sure if that's what that is or not, but anyway, doesn't seem to be working on this one, which is okay. So let's put the back on and see what happens. Okay, we've got the back on. Now I just need to put the bulb cover back on.